right, what's up, guys? This is Tom Taylor with South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts. Over there on the other side of the screen is a woman you know well, Danielle Kelly, one of the best grapplers in one championship. Danielle, always a pleasure to be chatting with you. Great to catch up again. How were the holidays? How was your New Year's Eve? How's life?
They were really good. Getting my last win made like Thanksgiving pretty good and Christmas. So yeah, it was really good to be around family and friends. And now I'm getting right back into it.
Yeah, quick turnaround for this one. You're fighting Ayaka Miura at One Fight Night 7 next month in Bangkok. Thoughts on the matchup? Obviously, she's coming over from MMA, a real veteran. She's got some good judo chops. What do you think of her?
Yeah, she has good judo chops. My opponent, she's obviously really good. She's a pretty experienced judo person. Her last three or four submissions were for the same from the same thing. I think it'll be a exciting match. I think it'll be definitely challenging. It won't be like my last one. I think she'll be tougher to try to submit. But I think I'll be ahead of her in a lot of scrambles and eventually get the finish. So I think overall, I think me and her can really put on a good show.
Hmm. She does come from judo, as we've said. How much relevance does judo have in like a submission grappling match in one championship? How useful of a skill is judo in these matches?
From standing, she definitely has, or judo, excuse me, has like a lot of advantage. Because mostly jiu-jitsu people, I mean, very rarely you'll have like a wrestler who's good at jiu-jitsu, but like a top jiu-jitsu person, they don't really practice stand up a lot. Luckily for me, like I've been wrestling my whole life, getting back into it now, but like I used to wrestle like as a kid. Um, I think judo, like their submissions are pretty similar, back takes, um, and it's similar like with the gi.
Well said. She's of course another girl from MMA, as I said. Do you feel like the fight you had with May and your one championship debut is sort of like a good warm up for this one? Just because they're not exactly the same fighter, but they both do come from MMA, both grapplers from MMA. Is there any similarities in this one?
I think there'll be a couple similarities. I think, she's going to be a little heavier than me. May was really strong, especially like for a small, like she was small, like height wise, she was smaller, but she felt really strong. Even trying to get her to like engage with me was a bit challenging. So I think if Ayaka wanted to play May's game, I think, I also done adjustments from the first match. But I think like just for a little bit, if I'm in a bad position, I think she'll be tough to like I can't like scramble off too fast or get her off me. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty similar. I know they're working with the same person.
Hmm.
Aminari, I think his name is. I probably butchered
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name. Um,
No, that's right.
yeah, I think just getting that experience. I think getting that experience is a pretty good warm up for me.
You mentioned that she'll be a little bit bigger. She's of course coming down from strawweight. She's been fighting in MMA, a division up. Do you see that being a factor in this one, or is your technique good enough that that doesn't really matter?
I think my technique is good enough and it doesn't matter. I also train with like a lot of other MMA girls, probably like heavier than her or around her weight. I think they're more technical. So I think no, I think I'm pretty confident in this match going on. I just want it to be an exciting match. That's all I really care for.
Mhm.
And getting the finish.
Hmm. This fight will be in Lumpini Stadium in Bangkok, a really famous Muay Thai arena. Now, One Championship is doing events there every week, so there's going to be quite a few fights between now and your fight. So there may be other grappling matches between now and then, but I think you might actually be the first grappling match ever in Lumpini, which is kind of cool. I mean, does that mean anything to you? It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I was just saying too, like even being the first like women's girl grappling match for one championship back in March, that was like a big stepping stone for me, like a big accomplishment in my grappling career. And being that like I can be that girl to like push forward women's jiu-jitsu and just promoting grappling on the stage. As well as like the guys are doing now, like Cade and Mikey. Um, just being that person, like that face, like, I feel like I would say it's pressure. I even talked about pressure, like that's probably a different interview, but I would say like I have a lot of there's goals I want to set. Like I obviously want to push the sport. I want to be that girl to like the face of women's jiu-jitsu. Um, for like the smaller girls, I'm not a big
Hmm.
girl, but just in general, like I would like to push the sport. But being in a spot like, um, pressure isn't the right word. I think it's I have a lot like on my shoulders, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
I just want to be like a good role model and just do what I love and put on a good show for everybody.
Well, you've definitely been succeeding on that front so far in one. You've made some real waves so far, done some really impressive things. It seems like it's going to continue. One interesting detail about this fight, I'm assuming you've heard. I was just speaking to Fabricio Andrade, who's fighting John Lineker in the main event of this card, and he said it's going to be in a ring. Does that mean your grappling match is going to be in a ring instead of a cage? Have you heard anything about this?
Uh, yes, I just got told today earlier, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. Because I've been working like cage wall stuff, to implement
Hmm.
my grappling game. So, from the ring, I mean, I was just grappling in a ring earlier this morning, like with one of the MMA girls. So, I mean, it's kind of different. I don't know the rules exactly, like, because for jiu-jitsu, like, if you watch the first match, like May put me against the cage to make me like not uh make space or move my hips. So the cage kind of blocked that. So like, what are the rules for the ring? Like, are they gonna like just push my head to the side, or are they just gonna like keep going? So I don't. It's gonna be interesting. Like, those are little rules that I kind of have to figure out. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd. It reminds me of like I'm going Bloodsport or like the other movies. They're like old school. I feel like I'm going in an 80s like movie right now. Like when I go there, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
My inner
it's
nerd
definitely
might
really
come
cool.
out, so I don't know yet.
Oh, I can't blame you. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be really cool. But it will probably change some things for you, strategy wise, right? But I guess on the other hand, grappling in a ring is probably a little bit closer to grappling on just standard mats than a cage, right? So maybe it's not that different.
Yeah, I'll be ready for whatever.
Yeah,
At least they told
cool,
me
cool.
like a month out, so I'll just
Yeah,
prepare for it.
right. And so were they talking to you about being on this card when it was supposed to be in Jakarta originally? Because originally this one was going to be in Indonesia, and then they moved it to Thailand. Were you originally thinking you were going to have to go to Indonesia?
Yes. I was also
Mhm.
like Googling like images. Like I don't know what Indonesia looks like, but it was very beachy. I saw like the beachy areas. It looked really pretty. And now it's gonna be in Thailand, so I guess I'm going to Thailand. I'm gonna be a world
Yeah.
traveler by the end of the year.
Yeah, well, if you're looking for beaches, you'll certainly find those in Thailand too. Nick and I are going to be there again, so
Yeah.
you'll see us on the ground, and I'm definitely going to go beach hunting before and after this card. There's some good ones there for
Lucky
sure.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's one of the perks of the job. Anyway, back to the fights, the important stuff. If you win this one, you'll be 3-0 in one championship. I mean, I got to assume it's got to be a title fight next, right? They've got to make a title for you after that, right?
Yeah, or they can just, I like competing, so whenever I feel ready or whenever they feel they want to give me a title shot. I've been preparing for like jiu-jitsu matches, just challenging myself. So, yeah, I'm really grateful that I get to still compete, like, while I'm waiting for a title shot. If I'm gonna get a title shot, I'm able to like still do what I love and be challenged and travel to go beat up some girls.
It's not a bad life. Would you say that? I mean, this seems like a logical choice for the U.S. debut, right? Presuming there's no injuries for you or anything, you're in fighting shape after this fight with Ayaka. Is that something that you're hoping will happen, like a title fight in Denver? That'd be pretty cool.
Obviously, yeah, like wishful thinking. Like obviously, I would love to be the in the first event. Like it's in the U.S. It's where I live, and my family and friends can come visit me or not visit me. Excuse me. They can watch me. Because
Hmm.
they obviously can't like travel to the country to like watch me. I would love to do that. And I think overall, I think everyone coming to one championship in the U.S. would is like a big goal. I mean, it's a huge, huge goal. So yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting anything, but crossing my fingers, like hopefully focus on this match first. Let me make sure that I submit this girl and then I'll be confident. So I'm focusing on Yaka, but do I want to be on the card? Yes, I do.
Fair enough. I mean, it makes sense to me. I want you to be on that card. I think it would be silly
Yeah.
for them not to put you and Mikey and there's so many great American stars in one championship now, and I think some of you are very obvious choices. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, now that we're on the topic of submission grappling title fights, our man Mikey just had a title fight. Interesting one. He basically tore a guy's leg to pieces because the guy wouldn't tap. He had the leg lock, the Mikey lock locked up for like 8 minutes, and the guy just would not tap and ended up, I don't know if you saw, suffered just like horrific injuries to his leg, like MCL, ACL, meniscus, ankle, all just broken. What are your thoughts on this crazy thing that happened in this fight? This guy's refusal to tap.
Yeah, I think it's not smart, and I think on his part, I feel like he was trying to be a little cocky. Like it was already eight
Mm-hmm.
minutes in, or excuse me, it was already 2 minutes into the match. So I guess he felt like, oh, I don't want to tap too fast. Let me just fight out of this leg locks. And obviously, like, look what happened. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd rather like just tap. It's just you're gonna do more now. Like with just kind of you're losing more now with staying not doing anything for a year because you do refuse to
Mm-hmm.
tap. So it's hard to feel like I feel bad for him, but it's hard to not feel bad because like you knew like how your leg was just going in different directions. Um, yeah, it just
Yeah.
sucks. So I hope he has a speedy recovery.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a cautionary tale, a good lesson on the importance of tapping, right? As you mentioned, there's sometimes
Yeah,
some
at least
ego in
like people
combat sports.
take yeah, at least like people take jujitsu seriously now, like leg locks or anything submissions work. So you make sure to tap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was crazy. There's no questioning after seeing something like that jiu-jitsu is extremely dangerous, right? All right. Well, I can tell you're
Yeah, we're
sleepy.
pretty
I'm
dangerous.
sleepy.
That's okay.
Let's let's wrap this thing up. I got to ask you about the MMA plans. Everyone's wondering about that still. Are you planning on doing that this year? Is that sort of on the back burner for now? Is that still something you're interested in?
That did kick off my mind completely, but with the grappling titles and everything, like I want to accomplish something in jiu-jitsu. I think the MMA stuff can wait. Like I'm focused on jiu-jitsu. Like I still train with MMA girls. Um, but right now, with all the opportunities like I'm doing, it just makes sense to focus on jiu-jitsu right now.
I think that's actually kind of a good take. I've sort of had that thought as well. Everyone's talking about the Ruotolos going to MMA, Mikey going to MMA, you going to MMA, but you guys are kind of all collectively just getting one championship's grappling divisions off the ground. Like this is all less than a year old at this point. So it kind of makes sense for you guys to stick to grappling for a little while, I'd say, right?
Yes, I mean we have we have all the time, so I'm not in any rush.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't want to do MMA. Like I don't know. Maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
do like one off or something. Like I do. It's definitely on my mind because like when I started jiu-jitsu as a kid, like I wanted to fight, but I never
Mm-hmm.
did. Like had an MMA fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, obviously, like if the MMA fight comes to mind, like some things have to be changed. Like that's just for the future. But right now,
Mm-hmm.
grappling just makes sense right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got lots of time. You're what, 25, 24, 26,
No,
somewhere in there?
no,
How, how old are you?
everyone thinks like I'm 21 or 22. I'm like, no, like I was 27. So like, yeah,
27. Oh, you're still, no, you got
I'm
lots of
pushing
time.
30. No, I'm pushing
Oh no,
30.
I'm 32. I'm ancient. So yeah, talk to me when you
It's
pass that 30
like
marker.
I know like once you get 30 it's scary, but like I guess like it's scary once you pass 35. No, when you pass
Yeah,
40, it's as an athlete.
yeah.
Like you're still young. It's still technically young. 30s is young.
Hmm.
But like as an athlete, like if you're pushing late 30s, then it's like, oh snap.
Yeah, yeah. Aging's a whole different ball game for professional athletes, Because you have such a small window to do your
Yeah.
thing, right? Yeah. All right,
Not
Danielle.
like
Well,
28's
let's
like
let.
coming up the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Sure.
guys.
I remember 28 well. That was a tough year. It takes some getting used to, getting closer to 30, certainly. But we can wrap this up. Um, Enough about getting old. What do you want to accomplish this year? You've got a great fight to start the year. Where are you hoping to be by the time this year's over?
I hope to eventually get the one championship first grappling world. Sorry, that was not English. I would hope to be the first jiu-jitsu girl for one championship, be a champion for 115. I've been taking it seriously. The only breaks I had was like during the holidays. They called me up for this match. I just been working, training, studying everybody, even studying my opponent, but I'm studying other girls, keeping busy. Hopefully compete like 3 or 4 times this year, win those matches, get a lot of submissions, and yeah, just doing what I love. But I would like to travel. That's like outside of jiu-jitsu stuff. Just teach the art, just kind of go around traveling, teaching, and competing, and yeah, submitting girls, and yeah, that's
Sweet,
that's
sweet.
my goal.
That's a good goal. Any message for your fans? Any seminars you want to plug or anything? Anything you want to say before I let you go?
Thank you everyone for always following me, my journey, always supporting me. Don't forget my next match is February 24th. It'll be in Thailand, so make sure you watch on Amazon Prime, which will be on Friday night, so don't miss it. Yeah, so thanks for staying by my side. Thank you guys.